Morning all, and get on my face, you camera. Good morning and welcome to Terry Travels, and welcome to Gowrie station where we left the last bit of the walk. Here's the station over here, and it is cold. It's like 4 degrees, so I probably should get walking because we're walking down that way, heading towards interesting historical places in Melbourne, including a cemetery and a train station named after one of the worst people in Victoria's history. This is kind of funky because somebody's left a pallet of bricks just sitting out here. It says Glen Iris, Clifton. It's got suburb names and place names, and they look like they're very old colonial bricks. That's weird, but that's what it is. So I've had breakfast, I've had a coffee, I've hydrated enough. Let's hyperlapse for a little bit until we get to somewhere interesting. I should tell you where we're going, which is probably a good thing. Yep, we're going through Merliston Station, we're going through Faulkner Station, we're going through Batman Station, we're going to Coburg. 5 kilometres all up. It's going to be a little bigger than the last one. So we'll see how we go. And back to that hyperlapse. Okay, we've made it to Faulkner Cemetery, which is a big bone orchard. Really big, it goes for ages. It's still very cold here. I'll show you a bit of the cemetery. There we go. And we're going to be walking along here for a while, just on a shared pathway down here, which follows the railway track, fortunately. So lots and lots of graves. I've got to go to a funeral on Tuesday, so not my favourite place to be, but there's lots of historical people buried here, including John Pascoe Faulkner, the guy Faulkner's named after, and also reburied here is John Batman. And when we get to Batman Station, I'm going to tell you about John Batman, who was one of the worst pricks of Australian colonial history. Back to the hyperlapse. The sun has risen, but it's on the other side of those trees. I'd rather it was on me, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. Okay, we'll come to our first barrier, which is the water here. I'm going to see if I can walk around it. Ooh, it's muddy there. And there's a culvert here. So I may be taking the wrong path, but we'll see. I think I see a dry path. And there are bicycle tyre tracks here, which suggests I'm doing the right thing. Yep, made it. Local ducks, who will move as soon as the train gets past. But they seem to be quite happy right now. Don't know if you could hear it, but there were kookaburras cackling out over the cemetery there. My grandmother told me that when you hear kookaburras cackling, it means the weather's going to change. I don't know whether that's true or not, but they cackled. Let's continue. Somebody's left some stuff on the fence here. Okay, we've almost reached Faulkner Station, but I just realised we're in the middle of cemetery because there's some cemetery over there on the other side of the tracks. There's cemetery there and there's a main entrance and there's a fountain down there. So we've been walking through the cemetery essentially on a shared path. So we're going to continue here. We're almost at the first station. See, there's a sign for the Bone Orchard. And Faulkner Station's just down here. I'll take you there now. Okay, so here's Faulkner Station. Here's Faulkner Station, the first station of, we've got 3 more to do, but they're a bit closer together fortunately. Over there in the distance is the Hume Highway / Sydney Road. You remember that from the last video. And over here is the entrance to the cemetery. Faulkner Station used to be the stopping point for the funeral train. So if people were getting buried or cremated up here, there were special trains that would take the bodies from Melbourne up here to be interred. They don't do that anymore. We've got hearses. So let's continue because I want to get this done and I want to see if there's any coffee shops further down the line. Okay, say goodbye to Faulkner Cemetery. Now I've got to find the pathway here on the other side of the road. This is Boundary Road. And there's the path. Just what I've been looking for, that coffee shop. So I think it's time for an espresso and a little bit of a break, and then I'll continue. I'll let you know how good it is. I didn't know this, but we've reached Merlinson. The station's just over there. So it's time to test out the coffee from that coffee shop. Very nice people. Cheers. I'll give that a 7. It's not bad. Just what I need to top up the caffeine levels. But it's a really nice little shopping centre around here. Take a look at this. Goes from there all the way around there. It's a little local shopping centre that's doing pretty okay from the look of things. And there's 2 coffee shops because there's another one there. So like in 6 shops there's 2 coffee shops. You've got to like a little village like this. It's got 2 coffee shops. I mean that is like 100% Melbourne. So the second one is over there. And that coffee shop's up there. So that coffee shop's got the edge because it opened before this one did. So you got to get up early. So I'm going to finish my brew and take the walk. And I'm doing okay. I'm not feeling bad at all. I'm about halfway, maybe, kind of, sort of, maybe more. I always underestimate how far I've walked. But we'll get on with it after I have my coffee. Cheers. Here's another reason to like Merlinson. Street library. Let's see. Oh look, it's shaped like the handle's shaped like a koala. Let's see what's in here. Wow, there's lots and lots of books in here. Going down a swing. Wow, this one's actually got some reasonable books in it. Except for the Harry Potter shit. Gulliver's Travels. Euripides, we've got some Euripides here. Australia, Her Story. Lots of poetry books. This is well done. And there's even a Ballarat newspaper. And even a sexy vampire novel or 2. A few romance novels. Yeah, nothing for me, but nicely done. And we'll just close the koala and leave him to it. see up here we have Merlinston Station. Nice. There's a station car park there. I don't know whether the throughway is around the edge here or at the end of the car park, so I'm going to check. Yeah, it looks like I have to go around. It looks like the path on this side of the tracks ends here where this graffiti wall is. So I'm going to have to go over the other side of the tracks and continue from there. Okay, this is a kind of random thing. There's a art installation of some kind here along the tracks. Barbie on a bicycle, Tintin in Vietnam, Tour de Monde, another doll on a bicycle. It goes along here, look at that. Doll in a pram, another pram, bit of Thomas the Tank Engine love, and some vintage steam trains and things, all strapped to the fence railing. This is kind of cool. There's a Melbourne tram there too. Nice party tram, and it continues down here. See down there? A whole bunch of tyres and things. Some bicycle helmets turned into planters. Hey, that's weird and wonderful. And they can just continue along here. This is wild. This is totally, and there's one with spikes in it. Wild and wonderful. I don't know how far along this goes, but it keeps going. So you got that there too, under one of the lights. And it just goes along here. Little birdies. And it says create expectations. And people have beautified what would have been a very ugly little pathway along the tracks and just made it unexpectedly groovy. And they've planted all sorts of things along here. See, more of them. And more of them. And it just keeps going along. I don't know how far this goes. It probably goes all the way to Batman Station. But lots of groovy plants beautifying this area along the track. Look, there's even a horsey. and another one. So it's kind of themed because up here, there's another one, there's another one, and there's more bloody horses. See? Bunny rabbit on a horse, a bigger horse there, a little horse there, and they're all zip tied to the railings. You can get a rocking horse and a lone saddle, and more of them here, until you get, of course, to one that looks like a Viking longship. Another horse, and here comes the train. Two of them. We got one last little bit there, which is quite lovely. And the art gallery continues. There's more here. And there's one up a tree there, and a Donald Duck up hidden in the behind the tree there. And down here you get even more. Junk turned into art. It's all pretty friggin' marvellous. So we're now heading down to Batman Station, and I'm going to tell you the story of John Batman, which is pretty messed up. But once we get there, I'll explain what I mean by that. And here we are with another unexpected thing. It's a community orchard planted by local volunteers. Renowned Street Community Orchard, which goes all the way around here and down there. And there's a little picnic table down there as well. That's kind of cool. And it looks like this is a fig tree here, which is just starting to get a few figs on it. Not sure what the rest of them are, but there's a few ground covery things. Might be cabbages down there, who knows? But it's a little bit of spare space that got turned into something useful. Cool. I keep finding wonders and treasures on this walk, which is unexpected. So it continues along here as well. Okay, we've reached Batman Station. I'm going to tell you about John Batman. He was the guy who founded Melbourne. They were going to name Melbourne Batmania at one stage, but in retrospect, it wasn't a good idea. John Batman was a big piece of shit, an incredible piece of shit. He started out his career in Australia, coming over from England, by hanging around in Tasmania as a bounty hunter, killing First Nations Tasmanians, being part of the Tasmanian Indigenous genocide. Got married to an ex-convict down there and came up the River Yarra and helped found Melbourne. Now, 2 years before he did that, which happened in 1835, John Batman was diagnosed with syphilis. John Batman founded Melbourne while suffering from syphilis. It killed him about 5 years after he founded Melbourne, and Melbourne town grew very quickly. And toward the end of his life, so John Batman tried to set up a pastoral property, but he became ill for obvious reasons, and moved back into Melbourne, and was known to be hanging around Melbourne, hunched over in pain all the time, in agony. His nose fell off from the syphilis, and he died in about, I think it was 1838, 1839. His wife, whose name I'll put up here, lasted a while longer. About 12 years later, she died in a pub fight in Geelong. And apparently she had fallen quite far herself, because neither of them was able to find any treatment for syphilis at the time. The treatments they had at the time were pretty horrible. It was like 2 years of having mercury syringed up your urethra and things like that. Boswell's London Journal, the John Boswell, the Samuel Johnson's mate, wrote extensively about his treatment for syphilis. But John Batman, apart from being a genocidal arsehole, ended up looking like Peyton Westlake in Darkman. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to be indelicate here. I'm going to end this particular vlog here, because I could walk to Coburg, which is the next station along, but I have, to put it very delicately, an upset stomach. So I'm going to get back up to Gowrie, get in the car, go home, and feel sorry for myself for a day or so. So we've done about 4.5 kilometres, maybe a bit more. We've had a cup of coffee. We've seen some wonderful things. So if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave a comment, tell me what you think. You can also support the channel and the other channel by becoming a patron at patreon.com/terrytalksmovies. Next one's going to be from Batman, probably down to Brunswick or maybe even further. But we'll see what happens next weekend. In the meantime, look after yourselves. Have a bit of an adventure. Travel a little bit. And I'll catch you next time.